how to easily study the Bible and understand it. Happy Sabbath celebration from California, USA. In this Sabbath celebration, I will teach you how to easily study the Bible and understand it. It's not easy to study the Bible because in the newer Bibles, there's 66 books. In the King James Bible, there's 80 books. In my Cipher Bible, look how thick it is. This is a big book, and it's super heavy. How to easily study the Bible and understand it. That's what I'm going to explain to you in this Sabbath celebration video. So that from now on, when you study the Bible, you won't be stressed out or worried or confused. And you're actually going to understand what you're reading. And you're going to be able to see a picture, a video, a movie, a storyline in your head from the beginning of Earth's creation. Actually, you'll be able to see what was going on before Earth was created. Christians don't know what was going on before Earth was created. Muslims don't know what was going on before Earth was created. Jews are not taught what was going on before Earth was created. People who practice witchcraft, they don't know what was going on before Earth was created. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to study the Bible and make it fun. And if you think I'm getting ready to promote white Jesus, you are 100% incorrect, because white Jesus is not the Messiah. And Muhammad was a child rapist who had sex with who married a girl when she was 6, when he was 53, and then he had sex with her when he was 56, when she was 9. So he is a child rapist who said that he was more important than the true Messiah, King Yahusha. Now, I have the Hebrew Cipher Bible. So anybody who still use the name Jesus in 2024, they are not on my level. And they won't be on your level of intelligence and knowledge once you learn the Messiah's true name. And his true name goes along with the name that the slaves that were brought to America sang. Hallelujah and Kumbaya. And King Yahusha defeated this demon. This is the devil that created earth. But any demon is a devil. Christians and people who play with witchcraft and regular people, they are taught that Satan is the devil. And they think he's the only devil, and they think he's the bad one. But he's not the worst one. His father and his mother are the two devils that his brother Sabbath rejected. Because his father represents darkness, and his mother is the abyss, the vagina of death, the lake of fire, which is tied to black, African, Kemetic, Egyptian witchcraft, which you will only learn on my page. Now, I have been posting information about Billy Carson. Billy Carson. What is he doing right now during the International Awakening? He's promoting his forbidden knowledge. But it's black, African, Kemetic, Egyptian witchcraft. And he's making millions of dollars by teaching people about Anunnaki and Egyptian gods. They're the same gods, because if you study the Anunnakis, their information says the Anunnakis created Adam. Well, who created Adam? Satan's demon father. This demon right here. Why did he create him? You're going to learn that in this video. But you'll also learn it in my series called Satan's Family Tree, which you could only truly find if you go to my hashtag page called #Daily Bible Food. And then I've created a photo album or a video album on my personal profile page, but I haven't sent the link to my King Adam of Light page or my page called Satan's Father and Mother. So let's get into how to study the Bible easily, and let's get excited, because studying can be boring. When you have to study for a test, it's not fun. You're worried that you're not going to pass the test. And you got to study hard because you got to remember stuff. And it could be boring unless it's something that you really, really want to do. Like, I only want to become a truck driver because I'm waiting to get my superpowers, and I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck, and my dad asking me for monthly payments to help pay his mortgage. But I really want to be a missionary. But to become a international missionary with my superpowers, I got to do research. But the research is hard and confusing. But now I've gone through it, and I'm like, oh my God, I got through it. Let me show you. This is what I've had to do for the last 3 Sabbaths. This is all that I wrote down. I pretty much wrote a whole book, because the book about me, called the Book of You, but it's really I-E-O-U. The book is not available on Amazon. And if it does become available, it's $150. I could pay the $150, but it says this book is no longer available. But it was available on YouTube. But just listening to it, it's hard to listen to. It is so hard to understand what Messiah King Yahusha is saying. But look at everything I had to write. You notice it says chapters. It keeps going on and on. This is the last 3 Saturdays. I wrote all this information down while listening to it on YouTube. It got to the point to where I had to start making notes. Look. Chapter 41, page 1. Chapter 41, page 2. Chapter 41, page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15, page 16, page 17, and then it stopped, I guess. That was for chapter 41. Then it goes chapter 48, chapter 49. Chapter 50. Now I'm at 32 minutes, 40 seconds. So this is 30. It didn't take me 32 minutes to write this. I was listening to the video, and all of this information I had to write, the video is 54 minutes long. This is only 32 minutes. And it took me 30 hours to write all this. Almost 10 hours. Okay, let's say at least 8 hours. 8 hours for the last 3 Sundays. So that's 24 hours of me writing all that information. And that wasn't the end. Then I stopped there. And I didn't put the minutes. I was supposed to put where I stopped, but I'll figure it out. I guess I'm going to go to 32 minutes. I think this is the second book. It's in the second book. There's 2 books. So I got to start today. When I start my research, I'm going to start at 32 minutes, 40 seconds. Now, you don't have to do this. This is specifically about me. The book of you. The I is I-U. Like pie, P-I-E, and you. But take the P out for pie. I-U. It's really pronounced like you. You. But they spell it different ways. They spell it you. They spell it I. In the Pistis Sophia book, it's called Y-E-W. Then I Googled it, and I found I-E-O-U. And then in Amazon, it's spelled J-E-U, like Jewish, Jew. But we didn't have the letter J in our language. And then on YouTube, it's spelled like this. But when the man is saying it, it's spelled like Chinese, like you. So, but you don't have to research this information. This is specifically about me, and then the information that I learn about myself, I can only share it with people who truly are seeking the truth and sharing the 22 laws as missionaries. Because Messiah King Yahusha said the information in that book is not for anybody except the those who are worthy. And I know who's worthy. But everybody in my messenger group is not worthy. Because a lot of people in my messenger group, I haven't heard from them in a long time. And if I go on their Facebook page, they haven't all been sharing the 22 laws daily. And they don't contribute to the messenger group by posting Bible verses. So I can't share the information in my messenger group. It has to be individually me sharing information. But it's not time to share the information because I'm still learning it. But my proteges knows that there's 12 mysteries you must learn in order to reach all the places in the heavens of the light. Hello. There's 12 mysteries, but only I know the mysteries. But I don't know, there's mysteries within the mysteries. So I have a wall with the mysteries, but they're not the full mysteries. I have these mysteries here. Then I have all this information to try to figure out of all this information, which mysteries are the 12 mysteries. But then I found out that there's a book about me, written by Enoch, the book of you, in the Pistis Sophia book, page 133. Now, this is not information that you have to research, even though this video is about how to study the Bible easily. This is super advanced information, but I'm just showing you. Page 133. The rest of the lower mysteries, you don't need them. But you will find them in the 2 books of you, which Enoch has written, that I spoke with him in the tree of knowledge, and out of the tree of life in the paradise of Adam. Because Messiah King Yahusha was the eagle on the tree of knowledge that got Eve to get Adam to eat from. So that Eve and Adam will have the tree of knowledge in our bloodline. Cain's bloodline had the tree of knowledge in them too. And Cain's bloodline is on earth too. But King Solomon and King David, they had the tree of knowledge and wrote certain books in the Bible and in the Apocrypha. But they rejected their light. So now we're in the awakening. But there's a lot of information. How many books do I have? I'm going to put them on the floor. I have the Hebrew Cipher Bible. I have the Apocrypha. I have the Nag Hammadi. I have the Pistis Sophia Nag Hammadi. I have the Mary of Magdal book, but I haven't opened it yet. And then I use BibleHub.com, which has the oldest books, the oldest Bible available, the King James Bible and the Geneva Bible, and then all of the newer Bibles. Now, the Apocrypha and the Cipher Bible, the Apocrypha and the Cipher Bible, they are supposed to all be in everybody's Christian and Muslim's book, but they took the Apocrypha out. They took this book out. Do you need this book? Not necessarily, because it's the Old Testament, and I'll explain to you what the Old Testament is. But it's good to at least have it, and it's not expensive. But I haven't read the Apocrypha. But inside of it, it says that the slaves are going to awaken in the land of their oppression. And it's the demon who created earth saying it. And he's the one who put us in slavery. Him. Yaldabaoth. But his name Yaldabaoth and his name Samael. Samael equals 666. His name Samael and Yaldabaoth is not in any Bible. And it's not in the Apocrypha. It's in the Nag Hammadi. And it's in the Pistis Sophia Nag Hammadi, which has the Messiah in it. But his name's not Jesus. And it has Mary Magdalene in it. And this is Mary Magdalene. But her Hebrew name is Miriam of Magdal. This is Magdala. But I got the Hebrew Cipher Bible, which has all the Hebrew names. All right. So now, for right now, we're not going to talk about the Pistis Sophia book, the Nag Hammadi, or the Apocrypha. We're going to focus on Bibles that are available to people. And which books in the Bible are the most important. But I had to give you an intro. Hold on. Let me pick my books up off the floor, because they don't deserve to be on the floor, but I needed to show them to you. All right. So, how to study the Bible and understand it easily. I have the Hebrew Cipher Bible. The Hebrew Cipher Bible has the Messiah's true name. His name's not Jesus, and he's not white. Hebrew versus Illuminati English. He wasn't English. So to accept an English name for a Hebrew immortal king who defeated the devil in hell, why would you use the English name when there's only a book in the Bible called the Book of Hebrews? There's no book in the Bible called the Book of English or the Book of Jews, because the Hebrews are the people who are in the Bible. They're the royals where the light came through. But the Romans are in the Bible. White people are in the Bible. The Romans. Egyptians are in the Bible, but they're black. Ethiopians are in the Bible, and they're black. Africa The Bible is about Africa. It ain't about Europe. And it ain't about no Israel. Israel is a place created by the Illuminati in 1948. That's why they getting their butts kicked by Putin and Iran, which represents Islam. Allah. This is Allah. He don't like humans. He's a man of war. But he doesn't like Putin. He don't like Islamic leaders. He don't like President Trump. But President Trump and Putin and Islam worships him. Kamala Harris does not. Obama does not. The LGBTQ does not. Europe does not worship him. Israel does not worship him. They act like they do when they're like, praise God. May God bless America. Their God is Satan. And Satan works for his father to get ignorant people to do what Satan says to do so Satan can torture their soul and 12 under the torture. And then he gets to torture them too. But he don't take care of the people who loves him either. Do Muslim mosques get blown up? Yes. Do Christian churches get shot up? Yes. He don't care about nobody except himself. He didn't create the chosen bloodline, the chosen Hebrew bloodline either. His son who rejected him did. You're going to learn about him. So, the Hebrew name of the immortal who defeated the demon who created earth, his name's Yahusha, not Jesus. And the name Jesus means earth pig. I have a page for that. Messiah King Yahusha is the king of the 12 tribes of Yasharel, not Israel. He's the Lion of Yahudah, not Judah. That is in the Hebrew Cipher Bible. And the commandments that Moses was given by the demon who created earth, it's called the Torah. Just so you know, the Hebrew is a black African language, and the people in the Bible that are the royals, they are black Hebrews from West Africa, not the Middle East or eastern part of Africa. The Ethiopians are, because they came into our land to trade and do things like that. But one of the Ethiopian royals was baptized by the apostle Philip. So that's how we know Ethiopians are in the Bible. Now that's the Cipher Bible. It's $300. So you might not be able to get the Cipher Bible, but you can download it from Google Play or the Apple Store, or you can listen to it on YouTube. I have a YouTube playlist. Now, with the Hebrew Cipher Bible, you have to use BibleHub.com. I'm just going to type in my Bible verse. John 14:26. When you use BibleHub.com, you can only type in one Bible verse. You can type in, let's just do BibleHub.com. So this is BibleHub.com. I never went to just its regular page. Welcome to Bible Hub, featuring topical Greek and Hebrew study tools. The true Greeks are black. The Hebrews are black. King Yahuwah Sabaoth, the creator of our chosen bloodline, he's the true Zeus. White Zeus is Greek mythology, which means fiction. The true Zeus is King Yahuwah Sabaoth, and Messiah King Yahusha, the Hebrew king, he's the eagle of Zeus. So the Greeks were in our land with us. The Ethiopians was in our land with us. The black Kemetic Egyptians, we were in their land because Messiah King Yahusha went there to hide as a baby amongst all the other black babies. And we went there long before Messiah King Yahusha came down to earth when, Joseph was sent there to Kemetic Egypt as a slave by his brothers, but then during the 7-year famine, his brothers came there begging for help, and then the black Kemetic Egyptians allowed us black Hebrews to live there, and then our numbers got too big and they put us in slavery. That was the first Egypt of slavery. United States is the second Egypt of slavery. Egypt just means house of slavery. In Hebrew, it's called Mitzrayim. But the land, the first Egypt, was Kemet, not Egypt, that you see on the maps today. That land is called Kemet. And then United States is the second slavery of Egypt. All right. So welcome to Bible Hub, featuring topical Greek and Hebrew study tools, plus concordance, commentaries, dictionaries, sermons, and devotionals. I don't even know what that means. So they have the Apocrypha in here. Atlas. So we don't need to look at this. How do I use Bible Hub? I type in a Bible verse in Google. I'm John 14:26. John 14:26. And I could put Bible Hub. So when you go to Bible Hub and you type, if you go into Google and type in one specific Bible verse, in Bible Hub it has what all the different types of Bibles say. So this is the New International Version. This is the New Living Translation. English Standard Version. Bahrain Standard Bible. Bahrain Literal Bible. King James Bible. This is the oldest Bible in the list, unless the Geneva Bible is in here. But when we scroll all the way down, we don't see Geneva Bible. This is the New King James Bible, New American Standard, NASB 1995, NASB 1977, Legacy Standard Bible, Amplified Bible, Christian Standard Bible. And if this is your first time seeing my page, don't let all this information overwhelm you. You don't have to look at all these Bibles. I'm just showing you what Bible Hub shows us. Holman Christian Standard Bible, American Standard Version, Aramaic Bible in plain English, Contemporary English Version, whatever this says, Bible, English Revised Version. Why are there so many different Bibles? Because they want to confuse you. God's Word Translation, Good News Translation, International Standard Version, Literal Standard Version, Majority Standard Bible, New American Bible, Net Bible, New Revised Standard Version, New Heart English Bible, Webster Bible Translation, Weymouth New Testament, World English Bible, Young's Literal Translation. Now it says additional ones. Am I going to see Geneva Bible? A Faithful Version. I don't even see Geneva Bible in here. The Geneva Bible. This is the oldest Bible. Early Modern. Oh, here's another one. This is older. Oh, there's more older ones. From the year 1587. From the year 1568, from the year 1535, from the year 1526. So this is the oldest one. But the English is really weird. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom my Father will send thee in my name, he shall teach ye. Their English is not like our English in America. Teache you all things, tingus, and brain, it has e's at the end of stuff. That's not our type of English. But it's English from 1526, the year 1526. What is this? But that Comforter, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Ye Holy Ghost, whom my Father shall send thee in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all to your remembrance. What? I can't pronounce that word. Who is supposed to say in English now is have told you. That's not regular English because it's from the year 1535. The year 1568. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father, that's not how we say will, send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and that's not how we spell bring. This things right here is spelled different from that one. This is how they spelled things back in 1568. To your remembrance, that's not how we say whatsoever. I have, that's not how we spell have in 2024. Said, that's not how we say said. Unto you, that's a V. Unto you. That's English from 1568. The Geneva Bible from the year 1587. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, which I, and then they spell have like that with a U, told you. The King James Bible from 1611. But the King James 2000. But the Comforter, this from 1611, the year 1611. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. The New King James Bible. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things, and bring to your remembrance all things that I said to you. So these are all different Bibles, and they're all translating it how the publisher and the people who were in charge of the Bible chose to word the information. Now, in the Hebrew Cipher Bible, it's not going to say Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit because those are English words. What does it say in Hebrew? The book of John. What's his Hebrew name? Yahuchanan. Clear up, stupid phone. Yahuchanan. Page 1416. And please understand, this is still like an intro. I haven't gotten to the point or to the part to where you study the Bible easily. If I had never seen my page and I was seeing this video for the first time, I would be so confused. This is just an intro still, and like an overview. Then I'm gonna break it down to where it's super easy for you to understand it. Don't be scared. If you don't know how to read, it's okay. I didn't know how to read. I know how to read now. John 14:26. If you don't know how to read, you can listen to the audio. That's why the audio has been made available on YouTube during the awakening. The light has your back. John 14:26. But the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. My lollipop. I didn't know I could turn a lollipop into a pointer. It's like the perfect type of pointer. But the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit. So they changed it to Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost in English. But in Hebrew, it's Ruach HaKodesh. Because you are a Ruach, a soul. But I'm the Ruach HaKodesh, whom the Father, not the God who created earth, the perfect heavenly Father of lights, will send in the name of Messiah King Yahusha. Who's talking? Yahusha. Yahusha answered and said unto them, the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, whom Messiah King Yahusha's Father will send in the name of Messiah King Yahusha, the Ruach HaKodesh will teach you all things and bring to your remembrance whatsoever Messiah King Yahusha I have said to you. It's Messiah King Yahusha talking. His name's not Jesus. He's Hebrew. His name's Yahusha. And he said the Ruach HaKodesh. He shall teach you. Not she. He. In the King James Bible from 1611, the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, Ruach HaKodesh, whom perfect heavenly Father of lights will send in the name of Messiah King Yahusha, he shall teach you all things. In the New English, but the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things. The older Bibles that I showed you, in 1587, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things. And then you see these are other older Bibles. We don't really need these Bibles, but I do want to see what these Bibles say about the cross. Because the cross doesn't really represent something that the Messiah was nailed to. The cross means getting through something that's hard. Like getting through a horrible situation. Cross through. Remember, when he says, remember my cross, he's saying, remember all the things I had to go through to defeat that demon who created earth, to give you the path to eternal life. It's not being nailed to a cross. The cross that they present, that's Satan's mama's demon vagina, the Kemetic Egyptian Ankh. All right. So, with Bible Hub, you would just type in specific Bible verses. That's when you want to do deep research and see, what did the other Bible say? You type that Bible verse in Bible Hub. You actually just type it in Google. I typed it in Google and then I specifically put Bible Hub. If you don't put Bible Hub, it's going to show you other Bibles first. And you're going to have to scroll down to Bible Hub. So somebody paid for their website to pop up first. What does their website say about me? But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, they took the word he out. So you don't know if the Advocate is a female or a male, because they took the word he out. They just put will teach you. And then they put Jesus is not going to abandon us. He promises to send an advocate. Other translations say the helper or the comforter. But they took the word he out. So you don't know if the helper is a man or a female. Well, all the older Bibles and the Hebrew Cipher Bible says it's a he. So that's why you don't just go to whatever pops up first. Scroll down. Bible Gateway. What did they say? But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, they took the word he out. It just says, we'll teach you. So you can't trust them. And I don't even like using the New International Version because they take out a lot of important words. Scroll down. Biblia.com. But the Father will send the friend in my name to help you. The friend is the Holy Spirit. It says he. He will teach you all things. He will remind you of everything I have said to you. But we can go to BibleHub.com and see what all the Bibles say. And they usually only show the King James Bible, which is from 1611. But as I showed you, there's other Bibles older than 1611. But it's okay to use the King James Bible to show that in your older Bibles, it says he. Why did you take out he in the New International Version? Why did you take out the word he? Oh, here, this says he. This says he. This one doesn't. Why did you take the word he out of the Berean Standard Bible? But in the Berean Literal Bible, you got the word he. All of these have he in them. This one doesn't. Oh, it does. He will. This one doesn't. Christian Standard Bible. In your Christian Standard Bible, why did you guys take the word he out? In the Holman Christian Standard Bible, why did you take the word he out? So you can compare other Bibles and just know that King James Bible is one of the oldest ones. So always go to that one to compare, to use with your Hebrew Cipher Bible. When you're doing research, see what the King James Bible said. Because a lot of people who, you're not supposed to be teaching anybody anything, but if you were explaining something to them, they won't accept the Hebrew Cipher Bible, even though the Messiah was a Hebrew. And there's the book of Hebrews, there's not the book of Jews. There's a book called Hebrews in their Christian Bible. So why would they reject the Hebrew Cipher Bible? Because their demon counterfeit spirit, their demon twin doesn't want them to accept the truth. Wants to keep them using that name Jesus and following what their Christian pastor or their Christian priest is lying to them about. All right. So I just spent 40 minutes explaining the deep information. Now I'm about to share how it's so easy to understand the Bible. But before we do that, we're going to pray as a group to Messiah, King Yahushua's perfect heavenly forefather of lights. And we're going to talk to Messiah, King Yahushua at the same time, and King Yahuwah Sabaoth. Sabaoth. If you say Sabaoth, that ain't his name. His name is Yahuwah Sabaoth. He created Yahusha. So when you pray to perfect heavenly forefather of lights in the name of Messiah King Yahusha, you pray and talk to perfect heavenly forefather of lights at the top, and then Messiah King Yahusha on his right, and King Yahuwah Sabaoth on his left. And they're like you're standing in front of them and bowing and repenting for your sins and begging for forgiveness for your sins and forgiving all others, letting them know, I don't hold any grudges against anybody. I truly forgive them, and I pray that they seek the truth. I don't want to hold any grudges, any hate inside of me. But imagine they're sitting on three thrones in front of you. Visualize it in your head. Close your eyes, but don't talk out loud. Pray quietly in your mind and visualize them both sitting there. Sabaoth looks like a snake king. Messiah King Yahushua is black. When I used to pray a long time ago, I used to imagine white Jesus in my head when I was praying. That is not the Messiah. That is an Illuminati prince named Cesare Borgia, who was the son of an evil pope in 1492. Perfect heavenly forefather of lights, he's a bright light. So when you're trying to visualize Messiah King Yahushua, don't try to visualize just a black man. Visualize an immortal God who's all light, but he has hair like wool that's white. And his skin is this color. But don't imagine a face. We don't know what his face looks like. And the 12 apostles, many times Messiah King Yahushua would be talking to them, but every time he come, he looked different. But they would know it's him because of the information he would be sharing. Because an immortal can turn into an eagle. Zoe jumped into the tree of knowledge. Immortals from the heavens of the light, they can transform themselves. And so can demons. And immortals, souls can get inside of a human. I'm an immortal soul, but inside of an imperfect human to teach you how to become a perfect human. As I'm turning my human perfect by following the 22 laws. So we're going to pray together as a group, and then I'm going to make this super fun and not confusing. I promise. And don't worry if you see that Nicki Minaj picture there. That's one of my pictures for the sex laws. I even got these pictures here. But so if you see, I don't got nothing inappropriate in my pictures. There's a reason why you'll see them. But you're not going to see nobody naked, totally naked. But there's a reason. So I'm getting ready to touch on the pray correctly thing. And I'm like, Nicki Minaj with her legs open. I have to explain why she's there. I've already posted the picture. I could actually delete it. I don't need it anymore. I already posted it. All right. Is this the updated picture? Yes. If you're new to my page, I'm sorry, I'm like a perfectionist. I have to have things centered or else it stresses me out. All right, you start your prayer like this. In the name of Messiah King Yahusha, I humbly come to you, perfect heavenly forefather of lights. There's other titles you can say, but this is the simple way, and you can actually find this in the Bible at James 1:17. And there's other Bible verses about perfect heavenly forefather of lights, 1 John 1:5, Matthew 5:48, where it's saying he's perfect. So that lets you know it's not the demon who created earth, because he's not perfect. He creates light and darkness. He creates good and evil. He's jealous. He's a man of war. He kills humans and tortures his good humans, like Job. And he allows men to rape virgins, and then a virgin has to marry him. So he's not perfect. So these Bible verses explain to you that the Messiah's father is perfect. He's not the God who created earth. And you can't say heavenly father, because Satan's demon father, he created the six heavens of chaos. So he's a heavenly father, but he's a heavenly father of darkness, the six heavens of chaos. So you have to be very specific, because we are in a competition. You have to make sure everything is said the correct way, so everything goes perfect for you, because you're tied to the perfect heavenly father of lights. But he's not father, he's forefather, the beginning father. Messiah King Yahushua was created by Yahweh Sabaoth. So Yahweh Sabaoth is his father too. But he's not forefather. And Messiah King Yahushua is a clone of me, King Adamalite. I'm his father too. But I'm not forefather. So you always put perfect heavenly forefather of lights on top. I'll explain that a little bit later. So, as I said, you use the name of Messiah King Yahushua to come to perfect heavenly forefather of lights, and King Yahuwah, take the T off and just say Sabaoth. It's not a hard name to pronounce. It just looks confusing. But the T is silent. It's Sabaoth. And visualize the three of them sitting in front of you. Again, Yahuwah Sabaoth looks like a snake king. Perfect heavenly forefather of lights, he's just a bright, bright light. Put him in the middle of Messiah King Yahushua sitting on his right, and King Yahuwah Sabaoth sitting on perfect heavenly forefather of lights left. And imagine you're in this beautiful kingdom castle, and you're bowing down in front of them and praying and conversating with them. But it's only a 4-minute group prayer. When you pray at home, you can pray for 30 minutes. You can pray when you're sitting on the toilet. You can pray when you're in the shower. You can pray when you're on the bus. You can pray when you're on your bike. You can pray when you're driving your car. You can pray when you're grocery shopping. You can pray anytime you need to. But a lot of times when I'm praying at work, somebody always interrupts my prayer. How do you end your prayer? Not saying amen. Amen is Satan in the black African Kemetic Egyptian culture. Messiah King Yahushua said, love his perfect heavenly forefather of lights with all your heart, soul, and mind. You are the soul. You have a heart as a soul and a mind too, but your human avatar also has a mind and a heart. Love perfect heavenly forefather with all your human heart, all your soul heart, all your human mind, and your soul's mind. You're the soul. So you end your prayer. I love you, perfect heavenly forefather of lights, with all my heart, soul, and mind. I love you, Messiah King Yahushua, for all you have done for us to help us win eternal life. I love you, King Yahuwah Sabaoth, for rejecting the darkness and creating Messiah King Yahushua to come down here to help all of us through King Yahushua's brother, King Adamalite. Then you end your prayer. So it's going to be a 4-minute prayer. Then we're going to get into the fun part of how to study the Bible. I'll set the timer. start. You can start your prayer. You can start ending your prayer. Why is the timer not making any noise? It just says timer stopped. It usually makes a loud noise. So, end your prayer. All right, so first I want to go over, I have notes. First, I want to explain to you who the most important beings are in the Bible. Perfect Heavenly Forefather of Lights, Messiah King Yahusha, King Sabaoth, or King Yahuwah Sabaoth, Queen Wisdom, and King Adamalite, my wife. I should say Messiah King Yahusha and his wife, Queen Ruach HaKodesh. He's my clone, and his bride is my female left side's clone, created by Yahweh Sabaoth. Eve, who was Zoe, Queen Wisdom's angel daughter, who taught King Yahweh Sabaoth how to create a clone of her mother, Queen Wisdom. And that clone of Queen Wisdom is Messiah King Yahusha's bride, Queen Ruach HaKodesh. And Zoe taught King Yahweh Sabaoth how to create a clone of me, King Adam Malite. And my clone is King Yahusha. They came down here, King Yahusha and his feminine left side, to set everything up for Queen Wisdom to come down here first inside this human avatar. And then she learned who she was, cleansed out her human avatar so her masculine right side, King Adam Malite, could come down here. Now I'm here to teach you as a Ruach soul, female. All Ruachs are female. It doesn't matter if you're inside of it doesn't matter if you're a Ruach soul inside of a man or a Ruach soul inside of a woman. All Ruach souls are female. Queen Wisdom was inside this male, and she was saying on this page, but the page is called Prince of Moria, when this human awakened, but it was really a soul. He didn't know he was a soul. He named this page Prince of Moria, which means Prince Love Yahusha. And then the soul inside this human started awakening. It's like, wait, I'm Queen Wisdom. So on the page, Prince of Moria, the man kept saying, I'm Queen Wisdom inside of Prince of Moria. Then she cleansed out the human and allowed her masculine right side to come down here, King Adam Malite. And then I, King Adam Malite, changed the page from Prince of Moria to King Adam Malite. Now I'm here to teach you, as a Ruach soul inside of a man or a Ruach soul inside of a female, how to cleanse out your human avatar so you can marry a clone of Messiah King Yahusha. He'll create clones for you to marry. Each of you will have a clone of Messiah King Yahusha to marry in the 1,000-year party city after the Mark of the Beast. And then you turn into a phoenix. Zoe is the one who taught King Yahweh Sabaoth how to create my clone, King Yahusha, and Queen Wisdom's clone, the Ruach HaKodesh. And she was inside of Eve. So Eve is very important in the Bible. The 12 apostles. The angel of darkness, Michael, who has joined his king brother, King Yahweh Sabaoth. Mary Magdalene, who was a prostitute, who Messiah King Yahusha pulled 7 demons out of. 7 devils. Then at the bottom of the most important people or beings in the Bible is Satan's father, Yaldabaoth, and Satan. In my head, there's no other important people in the Bible. King David is not important. King Solomon is not important. Moses is not important. Jacob, who the 12 tribes came from, he's not important. And his 12 sons are not important. 10 of the sons sold Joseph into slavery because they were jealous of him. They're not important, but it's important to know where the 12 tribes came from. But they all worship the demon, Satan's demon father, and most likely worship the Egyptian gods, Satan's demon father and his demon sons. They were in Kemet, Egypt. All right. Now, which Bible books are the most important? The book of James, the book of Matthew, the book of Peter, the books of John. There's the book of John, and then there's 1 John and 2 John, and I think 3 John. I don't know why they did that. It's because they're stupid. Not the apostles, the people who made John's information 1 John, 2 John. Why don't you just keep it all John? They're dumb. The Gospel of John, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. But John also wrote the book of Revelation. So that's why it says John's letters. I have the book of Revelation in the list. So the most important books in the Bible are the book of James, Matthew, Peter, John. Revelation was written by John, and the book of Hebrews. I use the book of Luke sometimes, and I use the book of Acts sometimes, But they're not more important than these books right here, because these books were written by the 12 apostles. Luke was not one of the apostles. And Luke wrote the book of Acts. And he wrote the book of Luke. But I still use his books sometimes. But his books are not more important than the 12 apostles. But that's only 1, 2, 3, 4 apostles. There's 12 apostles. Why did the Illuminati take out the other apostles' books? Because they don't want you to know the truth. But it's okay, because the light controls the darkness. The light allowed the darkness to hide certain information, so that the darkness thought that they were going to accomplish keeping the chosen ones from awakening. But they're not in charge. Enough of the information is in the book of James, book of Matthew, book of Peter, book of John, book of Hebrews, and Revelation for us still to win the competition. So, when you see a thick old book like this and get overwhelmed, you don't have to get overwhelmed. The most important books in it is the book of James, the book of Matthew, the book of Peter, the book of John, the book of Hebrews, and Revelation. You really don't have to read the other books. Why? Because Messiah King Yahushua is only in these books right here. He's not in the Old Testament. The Old Testament is Satan's demon father and his angels of darkness telling Moses and fake prophets what to do. But most of it's telling us how to worship the demon who created earth, how to sacrifice animals and how to worship him, and nothing else. How he's a man of war, how he creates light and darkness, how he creates good and evil, and how he's jealous. And he doesn't want us to eat from the tree of life. That's all it's talking about. And how the Hebrews worshipped him. And how he tried to kill us in a flood. But he couldn't kill us all. He couldn't stop Adam and Eve from eating the tree of knowledge. Eating from it. So the Old Testament is only about the demon who created earth and how he don't like us. And how evil he is. The Messiah King Yahushua came down here and told us in the book of James, book of Matthew, book of Peter, and book of John that a demon created earth. And that his father is perfect. That's where I get the 22 laws from, in the book of Peter, and in the book of James, and in the book of Matthew. But the 22 laws are tied to the 10 commandments. It just makes you perfect when you follow the information from the book of James, Matthew, and Peter, and tie it to the 10 commandments. Now, what if you can't read? That is okay. I have a YouTube playlist where you can listen to it. My playlist is called King Yahushua While Sleeping. These are Nag Hammadi books. I'll talk about those later. Now, I have the Hebrew Cipher Bible, the book of Hebrews, the book of John 1, 2, and 3, the book of James, the book of Peter, the 2 Peter, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, and Revelation. What about John? Just John chapter 1, 2, and 3? Where's John? There's Matthew, Cipher Bible. Where's the book of John? I'll have to add it later. So if you don't know how to read, or you hate reading, you can listen to the audio. I have it in the Cipher Bible, and I have the New King James Bible. The book of John, the book 2 Peter, 1 Peter, shoot.
The first book of Jude.
In the New King James Bible, the book of John, 2 Peter, 1 Peter, the book of James. I don't got Revelation? I should have had it in there. I think some books get taken down by the channels. So I'm missing Revelation for the New King James Bible, and I'm missing the book of John for the Hebrew Cipher Bible. Now I have the Pistis Sophia Nag Hammadi book and the other Nag Hammadi books before the Bible books on my playlist, because you need You truly should use the Nag Hammadi before you ever open the Bible. If you open the Nag Hammadi before you open the Bible, when you open the Bible, you're already going to know a demon created earth. So you'll come into the Bible already knowing, I'm getting ready to learn how Messiah King Yahusha says in the Bible, a demon created earth. And that demon is not his father, like Christians teach us. Christians teach us the Messiah is the son of the God who created earth. That is a lie. The Messiah says in the Bible, a demon created earth, and that his father is perfect. Muslims are taught that the Messiah was here on earth, but Muhammad is more important. And Muhammad teaches you to worship the God who created earth, a demon. But if you use the Nag Hammadi, you already know Muhammad worshipped a demon, and he was a child rapist. And he is not more important than Messiah King Yahusha. He was a man who had sex with a 9-year-old girl when he was 56 years old. Messiah King Yahusha was a perfect, immortal virgin who went into hell and defeated Allah. Then the Jewish people, they are not the people in the Bible. So their religion is all a lie anyway. And they only use the Old Testament. They don't have the Messiah in their book because they said no Messiah has ever come down here. But they're not the people in the book. So it does not matter what they say. The Illuminati is the one who tells us the people in Israel are the people in the Bible. They're not. So the Nag Hammadi, which books are the most important in the Nag Hammadi? The Sophia of Jesus. Who is Sophia? Pistis Sophia, Queen Wisdom. Who is her feminine left side? The Ruach HaKodesh, Messiah King Yahusha's feminine left side. But in the Nag Hammadi, they don't use the name Yahusha. And they don't use the name Queen Wisdom. They use, for Queen Wisdom, they say Pistis Sophia. For Messiah King Yahusha, they say Jesus, just like in the Christian Bible. But it doesn't matter what names they use. It matters what it says. And then you have the Hebrew Cipher Bible to know that the Messiah's name is Yahusha, not Jesus. And when you see the word cross, it doesn't mean him being nailed to a cross. Cross means going through suffering. You crossed through it, and you made it to the light. It's not a idol that the Messiah was nailed to. It's something he went through, suffering for us. Remember his suffering, not remember his cross, something he was nailed to. On the origin of the world, that's Messiah King Yahusha explaining that a demon created earth. And how Eve saved Adam. And how Satan's demon father raped Eve. And she conceived Cain and Abel. Apocryphon of John, it will also say the secret book of John. That's pretty much saying the same thing that is said on the origin of the world. But it's said a little bit different. But this one, Messiah King Yahusha is talking to John, and on the origin of the world, it doesn't say who's talking. It's just explaining the information. The exegesis of the soul is how you learn that you're a female soul. But it's talking about Queen Wisdom. That's how the soul inside of me, my feminine left side, awakened after she read this book. The first revelation of James is Messiah King Yahusha explaining to James that James is going to be killed, and he gives James the soul code words to escape the 12 dungeons of torture, which is part of hell and the lake of fire. The second discourse of Great Seth is just a very important book. The letter of Peter to Philip is the Apostle Peter writing a letter to Philip. The second revelation of James is Messiah King Yahusha talking to James. The dialogue of the Savior is Messiah King Yahusha explaining important information. And then the Pistis Sophia Gnostic book, that's this book. It's not expensive on Amazon, and neither is the Nag Hammadi. You could get both of these books for, I think, $30 altogether. But the Hebrew Cipher Bible is $300 on Amazon. So you don't have to buy that. Now, if you live in Africa, you can download the app. The Cipher Bible has an app, and the Nag Hammadi has an app. Or you could download the PDF. But when you get it, the most important books are these books here. I'm going to post this picture later. What the heck is going on? Where's the... Oh. Screenshot. That is the screenshot. Where's the one that I posted to Facebook? Oh, this one. So that's why it says the most important books in the Bible and Nag Hammadi. So you don't have to read this whole thick book. You don't have to read this whole thick book. I'm letting you know the most important ones. And if you don't know how to read, I'm going to leave the link to my playlist on YouTube. But YouTube, you need to have data. If you don't have enough data, you can't watch the YouTube videos. So you can download the PDF. But you might not know how to read. Well, if you pray to perfect Heavenly Forefather of Lights in the name of Messiah King Yahusha and ask Messiah King Yahusha and perfect Heavenly Forefather of Lights and King Yahuwah Sabaoth to help you be filled with more knowledge so that you can read better, they can give you the information or give you the abilities. You're asking for help. And if you don't download the PDF, you can download the app for the Cipher Bible, the Nag Hammadi. I don't know if the Pistis Sophia book has an app. Let's see. You can't download them individually. I mean, I don't know what you're asking, Elizabeth. I don't know if you're asking me, can you download them individually or together as a group? So you just type in Nag Hammadi in Google Play or Apple Store. There's a Nag Hammadi. Pistis Sophia. I don't know if Pistis Sophia is in here. Pistis Sophia. It says it's in here. Book 1. But I don't know what it means by book 1. Oh, it has chapters. And it's going to say the name Jesus, but it's okay. You have the Hebrew Cipher Bible to know the true name is Messiah King Yahusha. And it says mystery, first mystery. I'm the first mystery. So this is the Pistis Sophia. There is a Pistis Sophia app. Because the light has your back. All right. And then Cipher Bible. I don't think the Cipher Bible is free. There's one for $21. And then this one, it seems like it's free. Cipher Abrogate. I don't know what abrogate means. Yahuwah is Satan's demon father. It has the books. It is the Cipher Bible. It has the book of Enoch. Genesis, and that's it in Hebrew. Genesis, that's it in Hebrew. Exodus, that's Exodus in Hebrew. Exodus, that's in Hebrew. Leviticus, that's how you say it in Hebrew. Leviticus, that's how you say it in Hebrew. Numbers, that's how you say it in Hebrew. It's the same on the app. Numbers. Deuteronomy. That's how you say it in Hebrew. Deuteronomy. But you don't got to read those books in this app. You just have to read the book of James, the book of John, the book of Peter, the book of Matthew, the book of Revelation, and the book of Hebrews. You don't got to read this whole thick book. So many people have read the whole Bible and they still don't know a demon created earth. Something just cracked in my house. But they weren't taught by the Comforter. The Messiah said the Comforter will come down here and he will teach. He didn't say a religion will come down here and the religion will teach you the truth. He didn't say that. He said one person. Have I taught pretty much everything? All the important stuff, but there's always more to learn. Because you still got to learn 12 mysteries from me, but I'm still trying to figure out the 12 mysteries. Because there's mysteries within the mysteries. And I'm the first mystery. But with the first mystery, there's 12 mysteries within me. It's like so deep. So don't think that after I said these are the most important books, you still read more books in the Nag Hammadi. You still should read the book of Proverbs and the book of Enoch. But the top ones to read and perfect the knowledge of is the list that I have, and I'm going to post a picture later. And I'm going to leave links to the app that you can download for the Cipher Bible, the Nag Hammadi, and the Pistis Sophia book. I'm going to get the PDF links for the Nag Hammadi, the Cipher Bible, and the Pistis Sophia book. And then I'm going to upload the audio for the Nag Hammadi, the Cipher Bible, and the Pistis Sophia book. And the New King James Bible. And then when you're doing specific research on specific Bible verses, you type in that Bible verse. It can't be James chapter 14, verse 26 and 27 for Bible Hub. You can only put James chapter 14, 26. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. You can't put Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 in Bible Hub and look at what all the other Bibles have translated it as. You can only put in one Bible verse. But you use Bible Hub just to see what the other Bibles changed. Let me see what else. Where's my notes? Oh, right here. I said everything. The most important people in the Bible: perfect Heavenly Forefather of lights, Messiah King Yahusha and his feminine left side, his Ruach HaKodesh, King Yahuwah Sabaoth, not really Sabaoth, Queen Wisdom and King Adonai, Eve, who was Zoe, the 12 apostles, but they only have 5 books written by them in the Bible. Oh, the 12 apostles, their books are in the New Testament. Paul has 13 books in the New Testament, but he's Satan. He's not one of the 12 apostles. So, the book of Corinthians, the book of Thessalonians, Romans, all those books, those are written by Satan. Paul was not one of the 12 apostles. Satan used his body. Paul was a Roman trying to kill the 12 apostles. So, if you think that you go learn the truth by reading all of the New Testament, Satan wrote 13 books in there. That's why Paul has more books in the New Testament than the 12 apostles. Because the darkness thought they were slick, but the light is the one who gave the darkness permission by turning the darkness to the left for 6 months and to the right for 6 months. And to the left for 6 months and to the right for 6 months. To where the darkness is in confusion. It don't even know what it's doing. That's why it left important information for me to put back together. And they can't stop me. They couldn't stop Messiah King Yahusha. They couldn't stop the 12 apostles. They couldn't stop Eve from eating from the tree of knowledge. They are not in charge. That's such a rewarding feeling. But you still got to pay your bills. As long as you can pay your bills and you know how to do your research and you know that you don't have to get overwhelmed with reading all this unnecessary information, you just narrow it down to the book of James, John, Matthew, Peter, Revelation, and the book of Hebrews. You got John 14:26 down here doing the hashtag daily Bible verse, daily Bible food every day. Then you got the most important books in the Nag Hammadi. And you just follow the 22 laws and share one of the 22 laws daily. Or one of the 46 rules daily. It's not hard. I'm like, in my life right now, I don't have no stress. And I don't have to become a truck driver in January. I could put it off. And then when I finally do become a truck driver, I'll have a cushion. And I won't be stressed. Because if you watch these people on YouTube, they always quit in these truck jobs. But if I start truck driving, the thing is, I don't want to work for Snyder. But they allow you to work for them without experience. The company I really want to work for, if I don't have my superpowers, you make this much money a week. The lowest. The highest you can, oh no, this is the lowest you can make. $1,500 a week. This is the highest you can make every week. But a lot of people don't want the job because you have to work for 2 months straight. Then you get to come home for 10 days. Most people, they marry, they want to have sex with their wife. Or they want to be with their kids. Or they're not married and they want to have sex with people where they live. I don't know what their business is, but a lot of people don't want to be on the road for 2 months. And I'll still get Saturdays off because you can only work 70 hours a week. So I work 11 to 14 hours Sunday to Friday, then get my Sabbath off. If I don't have my superpowers. But you can't get that job unless you have 6 months experience. So I got to go with Snyder, but a lot of people complain about Snyder. But I found people who work for Snyder for 3 years and they're happy. A black man who gave an annual update. So if you got your bills set up and then you get your research information narrowed down to where it's easy to research the truth, oh, it's just, I'm the comforter. First I got to comfort myself. Help myself figure out, stop stressing about everything. You got your human life taken care of financially. You got your missionary life set up. And now you can teach people how to do their research and not be stressed out. It's not hard. I did not know how to read really good before. I'm not a perfect reader now. But I know how to explain everything. There's people who know how to read way better than me. And they've read the whole Bible. And they still don't know what demon created earth. There's people who are doctors and lawyers and brain surgeons, and they don't know a demon created earth. They don't even know they're a soul. And if they do know, they ain't in control of their counterfeit spirit, their demon twin. And they ain't told you got a demon inside of you called your demon twin, and that you could have 8 demons inside your body all at the same time. So there's nobody on this earth more important than me. Because I'm the only one who teaches you how to enter the 1,000-year party city, a perfect city that's coming to this earth, and how to prepare for the mark of the beast. And how to cleanse out your human avatar using the 22 laws. Now I done showed you how to do simple research and not become overwhelmed and worried that you're not going to understand. You are going to understand because I gave you the books that helps you understand. And it is not hard to, it's not hard. I promise you. It's actually very easy. And when should you be doing it? On the Sabbath. On your day off. The Sabbath should be a dedicated celebration day where you're learning about how you're a soul and how you're going to win eternal life. But you got to research the information. You can't just listen to me. You have to research it so that you know I'm telling you the truth. And I am telling you the truth. But you have to research it because the information is available. Faith without works is not good enough. Works means researching it. And you're going to be excited. I promise you. So, overall, I believe I've said everything I need to say. I've been talking for 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's actually short. But I don't have nothing else to share. I don't have anything else to share. And I feel satisfied. So now all I got to do is post the pictures. All of the stuff is actually on my page called Weekly Sabbath Celebration. But I created another type of photo album on my profile page. And then I can post that link to my King Adam Light page. And then everything is organized for you. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. And you can also just go back into this video and take screenshots. Or you could just wait until I post the information to the page. But overall, I've explained everything. And I hope I've helped you ease your stress or anxiety about how do you learn the truth. And is it too hard to learn? How long is it going to take me to understand it? It ain't going to take you that long. Dedicate your Saturdays and Sundays, or whatever 2 days a week you got off. Some people work every day. My brother drives Uber. If you drive Uber and you got bills to pay, you got to work every day because that money is waiting for you out there. But if you are celebrating the Sabbath how you're supposed to be and you're not spending money, I'm never spending money ever again on the Sabbath. I did it and I saw a demon. I know I saw a demon. Maybe it wasn't a demon. Maybe it was one of the angels of the light making me think I saw a demon. But I saw a shadow. And it was no mistaking what I saw. And it was on the Sabbath after I bought food and beer. Because I was so stressed out. Because I was worried about getting my superpowers. And I was a mess that day. I was like, I don't want to become a truck driver. It's like too much stuff was just going on. And I was like, I probably could buy stuff on the Sabbath. Messiah King Yahushua said that he's the king of the Sabbath. But then I did it, and I got a warning, and then I made a confession video. So you should not work on the Sabbath. And now I know how to become a truck driver and not work on the Sabbath. Even if they want me to work on the Sabbath, I can work too many hours to where they can't force me. It's against the law to work more than 70 hours as a truck driver. So if from Sunday to Friday I put in all the hours, they cannot force me to work on Saturday. That is a gift from the light of the universe and a gift for myself in the storyline if I have to become a truck driver. So you should not be working on Saturday. If you have to work on Saturday because you live in Africa or something and they just make it so hard, or the Philippines where there's not a lot of jobs. You pray the perfect Heavenly Forefather of lights to give you a job where you don't have to work on Saturdays. But if you got to work on Saturdays, make sure you post them Bible verses. Make sure you make your food. Don't be buying food. Make your food ahead of time. So you're following the Sabbath rules as close as possible. And the light of the universe sees he's doing the best he can with the situation. And he's been begging for us to help him get a job that he doesn't have to work on Saturdays. So we could actually help him in his situation. But in America, you have options. But if you get a new job, and it's like at McDonald's or a clothing store or a lot of jobs, they will make you work on Saturdays. But you can pray for it to change. I don't have to work on Saturdays. That's why I became a preschool teacher. Because it's Monday through Friday. So, Saturday should be a dedicated day to research the book of James, the book of John, the book of, Peter, Revelation, and the book of Hebrews, and whatever. I can't remember. I'm forgetting one of the books. But it's on the page, on the picture. And then the books that are the most important in the Nag Hammadi. And you're covered. Pay your bills. Do your do your Sabbath research. Listen to 22 Laws of Music. And there's movies you can watch and TV shows you can watch. I have lists for that stuff. So you're not bored. And I got stuff that I could do for fun. Where's my list? Skydiving, indoor skydiving, indoor go-kart racing. I can go to the Oakland Zoo. What is this? Oh, mini golf, indoor mini golf, go bowling, and go to the beach. I could ride my scooter on the bridge. I could go whale watching in Santa Cruz. I could rent a boat on Lake Chabot. Indoor skydiving at iFly. K1 go-kart racing. There's stuff you can do for fun. You do not have to be bored at home. And I could get a membership at those places and do it on the Sabbath. But Sabbath should be a dedicated research day. So on Sundays, it's called Sunday Fun Day. I could take a ferry on the Bay Waters and smoke my vitamin vape. And create a delicious lunch for me to eat while I'm on the ferry on the Bay Waters from Oakland to Vallejo, which is a long ferry ride. And Vallejo is hot. So most likely in Oakland, I'll have on a big jacket, but by the time we get towards Vallejo, I'll be like taking off layers. So there's things that I can enjoy in the Bay Area. In your area, go on Google and see, you could type in things to do on Sundays. You can type in things to do on Saturdays, but do them on Sundays. Google will have things available to you, but you have to be specific. If you live in Dallas, fun things to do in Dallas on Saturdays. And there'll be a list, and you start doing your research. That's what I be doing at work. While the kids playing, I'll be writing down stuff and Googling stuff and writing down stuff. I'm not trying to be bored. I do not like being bored. I used to be a party person. That's why I have 22 Laws music. I'll be dancing in my house. I do not like being bored. And if you're just doing research and waiting for the 1,000 year party city, oh my God, that is boring. You need some music. You need some movies to watch. You need some TV shows to watch. Right now, I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead. I already finished The Walking Dead. I didn't know Fear the Walking Dead would go pop up on YouTube. And it got 8 seasons. That's going to take me almost 2 years to watch. And I'll definitely have my superpowers by then. And I'm also watching Charmed. There's 2 Charms. 2 of them. A white version and a black version. I did not know they had no black version of Charmed. But Netflix algorithm be doing stuff. So I started watching the first Charmed with Alyssa Milano, who I used to have a crush on. That's the only reason why I had started watching it. So this is Charmed. This is Alyssa Milano. This came out in, I don't know what year. 1998. I don't like watching old shows. And I told my coworker, I don't like watching old shows because it has like this dreamy feel. She's like, that dreamy feel is because those were filmed on movie reels or whatever, and they didn't store them right. So when they start posting them on Netflix and stuff, it has that film over it. She's like, but now everything is in HD. And she's like, when they did that for Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series, they had to change it to fit people's TVs, but then everybody bought widescreen TVs. And she's like, in Buffy the Vampire, if you're watching it, you can see the camera people, you can see the camera microphones like above, because the way they cropped it, and then people bought big screen TVs. So Hollywood made mistakes with how they stored certain things. And so that's why I don't like watching old movies or old TV shows, because the way it looks, it doesn't look fresh. So I was like, I don't like the way it looks when I'm watching it. It looks kind of blurry and like there's this film over it, like when they do a dream. So there's a new Charmed. It's not new, it was in 2018, but I didn't know. And they're black. She's black. She's black. She just don't look black, but she is. I Googled it. Her father in real life is black. She's black, but she's from England, and she's Latina. So in this version of Charmed, their mother is white, but their dad is black. Her dad is Puerto Rican. And they live in New York. And they are doing African Kemetic Egyptian witchcraft. And there's a demon virus that can infect humans. And they're witches. And demons are chasing after them. Because they're witches. They're not from the light. They're witches. And she's a demon. Because she died as a baby. And her mama, who's white, and her dad is black. Her mom begged this witch or something to bring her baby back to life. But the person who brought her back to life put a demon soul inside of this girl. And she doesn't want to use her demon side. And then her boyfriend is a demon. He's half demon, half human. But he doesn't want to be a demon. He wants to be good. So it's like, oh, this is right up my alley. Because we have a demon attached to us. And we want to, if you awaken, you don't want to be attached to your demon side. You want to cleanse it out using the 22 laws. So I'm watching Charmed right now, the new version, because it has a lot to do with the Illuminati Black African Kemetic Yoruban witchcraft. Yoruban gods. Picture clear up, please. Oh, it did clear up. Go back. So these are Yoruban gods, but they're demons. This is what Beyonce worships. It comes from the Black Kemetic Egyptians. But this is the West African Yorubans. Beyonce is Oshun. That's why she's wearing that yellow dress in that song where she is saying she used the Bible as her tampon. Hold up. Yellow dress. Yellow dress. Beyonce Lemonade Yellow Dress Oshun. Oshun Goddess. Oshun is also known for being extremely beautiful. She is the goddess of love and inspires sexuality, sensuality, love, and healing. She also is jealous. Oshun is a Yoruban goddess, or Orisha, associated with love, fertility, and water. She is also known the river Orisha and is considered one of the most powerful Orishas. Where's her? She's tied to Voodoo, Haiti, Dominican Voodoo, the Black Kemetic Egyptians. But she's also evil and jealous. Where's that? Freshwater joy, life, living, gold and wealth. Queen Wisdom is more important than gold and wealth. Gives fertility. Protector of the poor and sick, bringing them health, joy, dance, music. She's also believed to help transformative states, such as women's and men's reproductive and digestive health, mental and spiritual health. Where's the part where she's jealous? Jealous. Jealousy. In the Illuminati Britannica, Oshun is commonly called the river Orisha, or goddess in the Yoruban religion, Black Kemetic Egyptian witchcraft in West Africa, and is typically associated with water, purity, fertility, love, and sensuality. She is considered one of the most powerful Orishas, and like other gods, she possesses human attributes such as vanity, jealousy, and spite. She is a demon. Light, water, purity, fertility, love, sensuality. Darkness, vanity, jealousy, and spite. Yin and yang. Darkness and light. I create darkness and light. I create good and evil. The good, water, purity, fertility, love, sensuality. The bad, vanity, jealousy, and spite. She does not represent the light. She is a demon. And Beyonce represents her. Rihanna represents Lilith, Isis. But they both up under Jay-Z. Hova. Jehovah. Jehovah means earth devil. The Jehovah's Witnesses worship an earth devil. The Christians worship the devil, Satan's demon father. My battery's going dead. And the Allah-loving Muslims, they worship the devil, Satan's demon father. It's all light and darkness, good and evil. It don't represent perfection. Perfection doesn't have any darkness, any jealousy, any vanity, any spite. Spite means revenge, I think. Spite meaning.
Here's the definition of spite. A desire to hurt, annoy, or offend someone.
So it's darkness. A desire to hurt someone. Beyonce's, one of her band members said Beyonce put a spell on her, and she took it to court. Beyonce's employees said Beyonce put a spell on her. Beyonce's ex-drummer accuses her of witchcraft. Kimberly Johnson is seeking a restraining order against her former boss, Beyonce. It's on the news.
Mia Wesley is in the house. Mia, what is going on?
Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. Beyonce's ex-drummer of 7 years, she is seeking a restraining order against Beyonce. She's accusing her of dark magic, witchcraft, tapping into her phone bill, and basically controlling her finances, harassing her. She's saying the Beyonce camp is put up a huge harassment campaign against her, and it's overall witchcraft. She sought a restraining order in the past. It got denied, and she has another one scheduled for October 11th, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And, I was just at the Beyonce concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience, but I didn't expect
A religious experience. She's stupid. She got a college education. It was a religious experience, but I didn't experience any witchcraft. It is witchcraft. If she had the cross, that's Satan's mama's vagina. People are stupid, even though they got a college degree. You can't be a news agent. You can't work for the news if you are not college educated. But that don't mean they're intelligent. They're laughing at the woman. You don't get a restraining order for no reason. You get a restraining order because you're scared. You're scared this person is trying to hurt you, and it got denied. Because they believe Beyonce is innocent. She's showing that she represents Oshun. She said she used the Bible as her tampon, and this dumb woman saying she was at the concert and it was a religious experience. She said she used the Bible as a tampon, you dumb idiot. They dumb. They stupid. So, it was witchcraft, but she's not allowed to say that on the news. She is allowed to say that on the news. You're allowed to say whatever you want on the news. You might get fired. They can't tell you what you can say. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to care about leaving that job. And she can say it. She could do her own deep research and go work for Fox News. If you're doing witchcraft and we can prove it, report it. Get a YouTube page. She could have did deep research. We don't know if the news said that. If Beyonce is doing witchcraft, but you can't say that. We don't know that. That's assuming. There's lots of things that people have said on the news and then they got fired, but you can still get another job. But I'm only bringing that up because I'm watching Charmed, and there's TV shows you can watch. You don't have to be bored at home. There are shows that you can watch. Now, the Puerto Rican girl on Charmed, the Puerto Rican sister, she's a lesbian. So I'm like, they always got to mix some lesbian stuff or some gay stuff. They get on my damn nerves. But I just fast forward when her and her girlfriend kiss. I fast forward when the other girl's kissing her boyfriend, the white boy, who's half demon, half human. I don't want to see no sexual stuff. And they're adults. So sometimes they show a little bit more than I want to see. So whenever they start kissing, I'm like, I don't want to see them in the bed, moving their body like they having sex. I like fast forward. And as soon as her and her girlfriend start getting ready to kiss, I fast forward. I don't really watch any shows where there's gay people. But they be throwing the lesbian stuff. When I was watching Black Lightning, the oldest sister, she's lesbian. They really pushing black and Latin lesbianism. Black Lightning. I already finished Black Lightning, though. This daughter's a lesbian in the series, but I already finished it. But it's on CW, which is for family. But they always mixing in lesbian or gay stuff, and they be making them kiss. And she married her lover. Her lover has superpowers too, but before that, she had a different lover. She had multiple, I think, more than 3 lovers, female lovers. So when they get ready to kiss, I fast forward. I don't need to hear all that. I just want to see the superpower stuff. So you don't have to be bored at home. There's over 1,000 good instrumentals on my 22 Laws music page with me and OA Beats. And OA Beats, they just added me to their they asked me to join their group page. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's like over 100,000 people in the group. And it's all musicians. But OA Beats on YouTube, there's over 1,000 instrumental songs. You'll never run out of good music. I play OA Beats at work. I play OA Beats at home. It's so much good music. So you do not have to be bored. There is good music that you can listen to without unclean lyrics. There's good TV shows that you can use for research. There's good movies you could do for research. Like I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead. That's the second version of The Walking Dead, and it has 8 seasons. And that's about the zombie wasteland. I had to stop watching it last night. I was overwhelmed. I'm like, this is making me smoke too many herbal cigarettes. I have herbal cigarettes. And I was just too overwhelmed. Because the zombies are attacking people, but people still don't understand it. And it's in LA. And I'm like, oh my God, they don't get it. They don't understand. And people are not listening to the boy. They're like, you're just on drugs. But he was on drugs, but he did see the girl eating people. But they were saying he's on drugs. And I don't know, the anxiety was too much. And I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I gotta watch this on Sunday. Let me watch Charmed. It's gonna calm me down. And I did calm down after watching Charmed. I was getting way too overwhelmed. And I don't understand why. But it was just too much for me. And I had to kind of laugh at myself. But it was really messing me up in my head. I don't understand. But I was smoking cigarettes so much, but they're herbal cigarettes. They don't have no nicotine in them. And you can put these flavor beads inside. These little beads. And they taste like candy. You stick one of those in the stem of the cigarette, and then you poke it, and it pops, and it has like a candy flavor. So when you're inhaling the herbal cigarettes, it kind of tastes like candy. It's like a syrup that you stick in the stem, and then you poke it with the little sharp thing that it comes with, and then when you're smoking, it like gets on your lips, and it tastes nice. But I was smoking so many of them, because Fear the Walking Dead, I don't finish The Walking Dead. I already know what's going to happen, but I don't understand why it had me so overwhelmed. It really was doing a number on me. And I was like, I can't watch this anymore. My anxiety is too high. I was like, let me watch Charmed. It's not like this. And I was right. I started watching Charmed again, and my anxiety went down, and then I went to bed. So there's plenty of shows you can watch. You can watch The Borgias. That teaches you who white Jesus is and who his Pope Father is. But they got sex in that, so you got to fast forward. Like sex showing people's butts. So you got to and women's breasts. So you got to fast forward through it, but you need to watch it. Just fast forward. You can kind of tell when things are about to start getting a little too nasty. So there's good music you can listen to. There's good movies you can watch for research. There's good TV shows you can watch for research. Google, what can I do in Texas? You just go like this. If you live in Alabama, let's say you live in Birmingham. Fun things to do in Birmingham on Sundays. "20 things. The Museum of Art, the Civil Rights Institute. Civil rights, that's Illuminati. But you could go there and do research about how the Illuminati trying to disguise itself as the light. When the people who created the civil rights are black, rich people who just wanted to come down into the South and make money from oil. But they had to defeat the white slave masters first with a war, the Civil War. Then they moved into Oklahoma and created Black Wall Street. And the poor white people who used to have slaves, they were jealous of them because the black people there, 5 years after slavery, had private jets, hospitals, movie theaters, grocery stores, a full bus system. They were rich, and the white people burnt it down because these black people were living rich after messing up everything for their slavery. Then the Botanical Gardens, Motorsports Museum, the Zoo, Vulcan Park and Museum, Science Center. There's a mountain park. I'm happy I don't live in Birmingham. It seems boring. But if that's where you live, that's what you can do. Fun things to do in Atlanta on Sundays. What just happened? Fun things to do in Atlanta on Sundays. So you just do that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Go back. Go forward. Oh. You scroll down. The aquarium. The zoo. I like looking at animals. And you could get a zoo membership. If you get a zoo membership, you can go there on Sundays, on Saturdays, because you don't have to spend no money. But that's what you do. Type in whatever city you live in and see what are the fun things you can do on Sundays, so you can have fun things you can do outside, so that you're not just researching or watching movies and TV shows and stuck inside all the time. Learn how to cook. Go to my page called Electric Superpower Foods, and then you can have fun cooking. There are so many things you can do to make your life as a missionary and researcher fun. And that's what I'm here to help you do. But this video is specifically about how to do simple research of the Bible. It does not have to be overwhelming for you, and you can plan it out. This Sabbath, I'm going to listen to the book of Matthew and take notes. Get some notepads. Get some pens and highlighters. Pens and highlighters. Get a ruler. And be organized. And if you live by yourself, put the stuff on your wall and organize it. My stuff is not fully organized now, but all that's my truck driving. And then if I'm still without my superpowers, how I can do my Disney-themed Airbnbs and not have to work at all. And then once I get my missionary superpowers, that's my map of around the world, starting in where Tila is, Fiji. That's my around the world, 24 hours around the world. When I get my superpowers, I start in Fiji and Papua New Guinea at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then I teleport to Indonesia, the Philippines, and Southeast Asia. Then I teleport to India, Sri Lanka. Every 3 hours I teleport. Then I teleport to East Africa. Then I teleport to Southern Africa. Then I teleport to Central Africa. Then I teleport to West Africa. Then I teleport to Brazil and Northern South America. Then I teleport to Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. Then I teleport to the East Coast in New York area. Then I'll teleport to the middle of the United States, Texas and Chicago. Then I teleport to California then until midnight. And then I teleport to Hawaii. And then I teleport right back to Fiji. I got it all planned out. What am I going to do? Bring dead bugs, dead fruit, dead flowers, plants back to life, teleport, pull out my demon twin, pull out counterfeit spirits of my proteges, make food appear in my hand, fly in the air on Lake Merritt, run on Lake Merritt water on a Sabbath, run in the bike lane in Hayward like super fast so the cars can't hit me, but they're looking at me like, how's this man running that fast in the bike lane? I have toenail fungus and the medicine don't work. Fix my broken tooth. It broke. Build an amazing sandcastle. Jump to the top of a tree from the ground. Jump from ground to the top of a building so they know it's not special effects. Jump from one side of the street to the other side. On everything on live camera. Light myself on fire for 5 minutes. Feed the homeless. Cure the homeless. Heal people in wheelchairs. Teleport into hospitals and cure patients in the ICU and emergency room. Teleport into hospice care and cure residents. Promote free cancer, healing, and other diseases. Heal blind people and prisoners in jail. Heal people with deformities. Bring dead kids back to life and good Samaritans who got killed trying to help somebody. It's all organized. Organize your life. Then you don't have no anxiety. You won't. Everything's organized. And then you can exhale. And you don't have to worry about, I was like supposed to be posting stuff about the girl on the grid, how she lives off the grid, but I'm going to have my superpowers. I created planets. I created angels, gods, and archangels. Why my face look like that? What is going on? Did I press a special effect? I am now the light. I don't know if you see me like that, but I look like I'm in a dream. That looks weird. But I'm going to end this video now. I know I helped you, so use the information so that you can be happy and not stressed out anymore. Everything can be easy and smooth and happy for you and exciting.